Hello, Fire Fact Channel viewers. We are bringing you some of the best time and highlights of our trip to Croatia. You may have already watched some videos covering details of cities we traveled, the amazing locations we visited every day, but this video will give you the total summary of our 6-day trip from London to Croatia. Now let's see what's in it. So we from UK, we left from UK, London Heathrow Airport Terminal 2 to Zagreb, the capital city of Croatia. It was 2.15 minutes, round trip to get to Zagreb, and then another an hour or so to get to Dubrovnik. We're all very excited, looking forward to the 6 days we're going to spend there because this is our first time ever to Croatia, never been there. We got into the airport really early, so we had some time to spend in the premium lounge in London, and we had lots of food there and rest and relaxed, did a bit of shopping, and then got on to our flight. Okay, so now we have reached Dubrovnik. We spent the night in the hotel. The first day we had a buffet breakfast and set off to explore the mystic old city walls of Dubrovnik. Most of you might be familiar that this is the popular city, and it's also the prime location shooting spot for the most popular world series Game of Thrones. And actually the number of tourists who started to travel to Dubrovnik city has increased exponentially ever since people found out Game of Thrones was shot in Dubrovnik. And the old city wall is what was called the King's Landing in the series. So before we start to explore the 2-kilometer walk to the old city wall, we found a shop sold gelato ice creams, and so after the breakfast we thought we need some ice cream to give us that energy boost, so we did buy some. And there were some lovely orange orchards just in front of the city wall, and this is a really beautiful location that has been maintained for centuries. So this was where the North Gate entrance, and the ticket was slightly pricey, but I think considering this is one of the most popular destinations in Croatia, it was worth it. It was around 35 euros for an adult and 15 euros for kids. So now we are in the city wall, which was built between the 12th and the 17th centuries, and these are very strong walls, and they have been maintained for a very long time in spite of a number of changes, bombing, natural disasters that the city has gone through over time. The Fort Bucar, Fort Minceta, Francisco Monastery are all encompassed within this amazing location. There were many steps, so it may not be suitable for people who find it difficult to climb up and down, but definitely for all the others, it's a worth travel. You could see some islands as you walk through the city walls, and there's also a number of cafes and restaurants in between if you want to relax looking at this amazing Adriatic Sea. Look at this view from the city walls are breathtaking. The survival of the walls in their present state is a testament to the skill and ingenuity of the builders and the efforts of the local people to preserve this wall and showcase this proudly to the world. So now we are in the Francisco Monastery. And they had a nice strong pillars and cozy and calm orchards with a well in the middle, but it also had lots of paintings and religious ancient things discovered from a number of places. And they also had some pots and pans that they found in the Adriatic Sea that was displayed there. It kind of told us the life that was lived centuries ago in this region. And there was also a very old pharmacy, and one of the first pharmacies in Europe. But unfortunately, the day we went there, it wasn't open. After watching the monastery, we went to the main street in Dubrovnik, and this is called Strada. And look at this view, that was really amazing. This is still, I think, from the city wall. We also went to the Maritime Museum. 45 minutes boat trip, just a boat that takes you closer to the island. And the sea was slightly rough, so it turned out to be a roller coaster of a ride, which was actually fun towards the end. Everything was just a few yards away from each other in the old city, all the popular landmark locations, so it wasn't difficult for us to get to it. So this is Strada, the central location where there's a number of restaurants and more historical sites of the city, like the cathedral, the Sponza Palace, Rector Palace, and you can see many sweet shops, some jewelry shops, and restaurants. Obviously, you could see Game of Thrones merchandise, where you could buy stuff. Some ardent fans would love this. There's also a cable car, but on that day it was extremely windy, so it wasn't operating, so we couldn't go on it. But instead, we decided to go to Fort Lavrijenac. And this was a very popular fort. Again, it appears in the Game of Thrones series. This is quite a steep climb of about around 300 steps into roughly, and we had to quite rush to get up because it was going to close around 3 p.m. and we were almost closer to 3 p.m. and just tried to climb up as fast as we could. But the view from this location was really amazing. Game of Thrones fans will recognize this place as the Red Keep in King's Landing. The second day, we left Dubrovnik, and on the way, about 30 minutes away, we reached this location of Trestino Arboretum. This is where there are amazing varieties of plants, shrubs and trees. And apparently this was owned by a royal person around the 15th century. And this person was very, very focused on creating this park and location with number of varieties of plants. He had green hands, obviously, and whenever any sailors set off, he always requested the captains to bring different varieties into this country so he could plant them in here. And no wonder this orchard is got so many different varieties. As you can see, the wisteria and many other plants and locations which will keep you occupied for some time. And the smell coming from the flowers, a different type of flies and bees in the garden, they all give you a really calm sensation. And not only that, and the view from there, you could see this Adriatic Ocean, and you could climb from the Trestino Arboretum down to get to this popular spot. Watching the Croatia video of our full 6-day trip from London to Croatia, and this is the day 2. So we've seen the Trestino Arboretum on the way from Dubrovnik, and now we're reaching the stone village, which has the biggest actually wall, even bigger than Dubrovnik. So this stone village is located, it's about 1.5 hours from Dubrovnik, and they are much longer than the Dubrovnik walls, that it has been named European Wall of China. So this is the fort in the stone village. This is from where you can actually start walking to the walls. And this wall is constructed in the 14th and 15th century as an additional defense for the Republic of Ragusa. And this little village is quite charming in itself, and had a lovely little cathedral, a number of restaurants, and a very, very, very good souvenir shops. We didn't have much time to climb to the walls, but we did observe them. And historically, these walls were again around the 15th century, 7 kilometers long, and we're protecting the whole country, actually, second to the Dubrovnik city walls. And after that, we reached this little beach just a few minutes away in Malistone beach, it's called. And because it was a Good Friday, there wasn't much crowd, and we were also slightly early. And so we could enjoy the exquisite views of this Adriatic Ocean. Then on the road trip towards the journey from Ston, going towards Split, we came across the famous Pelisex Bridge, and this was commissioned by the European Union and constructed in July 2022. So this is fairly new, and this is an important reason why they had to do this. This historically beautiful constructed bridge has paved the way for the coastal cities of Dubrovnik in the south to connect to Split in the north without having to travel across Bosnia and Herzegovina. Because previously there were people had to travel through the land and they had to go through the security border checks. All the people from Croatia as well as the tourists coming into the country. So to avoid all that hassle, and on the when we come out of the bridge, there are a number of shops, like this orange shop we noticed, and we got down to buy some juice, and we noticed some different snacks and fruits, oranges, lemons, pomegranate, jams for a really reasonable price and quite organic. We next reached a lovely town of Makarska, and this is a very popular family town, and there was the beach especially attracts a lot of visitors. There's also a skywalk, which unfortunately because we got there in March it's closed, but if you're coming after April, this open during the summer and you can get to view some of the mountains and this ocean view on panoramic view of this whole city from that skywalk. It's called the Biokova Skywalk, and you can find more information on the separate video I posted about the Makarska. Again, just reminding, this is the Fire Fact channels bringing you the Croatia trip. Not only do we do the travel vlogs, we also bring you some of the exquisite recipes from India. Although they're posted in Tamil, we do have subtitles. So please do watch and give us your feedback. We're also going to bring in a number of other travel videos and beauty tips. This is our day 3, and it's a very exciting day because today we are going to the Krka National Park and waterfalls. So we had taken a road trip from the city we stayed, which is Split, and to the Krka National Park. We had to choose which route we are going to go, so we thought we'll start from Scradden. So we went and parked a car in Scradden and then had the ticket office there where we had to purchase tickets and take a ferry to get to the Krka National Park. And the ferry trip was around 30 minutes. Now the Scradden village is a picturesque riverside village, and this is one of the parts where people come from. There's also another Lozovac entrance where people can go park, and then there's a shuttle bus in the summer that takes you to the Krka National Park. So this village is about, if you walk by foot, it's about 3.5 kilometers from the Krka National Park. The price tickets vary during the spring, summer. In the summer it's a bit more expensive. In the spring I think it's around €20 per person, and for kids it's lower. But during summer this can actually be a bit more expensive. So the ferry trip was really enjoyable, and as we were approaching the Krka National Park, we got really excited to see the view of the biggest falls in Krka, Scradden Seabug, from the ferry. So this Krka National Park is by far one of the most amazing locations in Croatia. It's 109 square kilometers in size. And then many times we see postcards and images of a location in social media. But when we actually turn up to those sites, it can be pretty disappointing. Maybe due to crowds, maybe due to pollution, etc. But oh my God, not this place. We were very lucky to be greeted by this amazing Scradden Sea Buck right at the entrance, just a 5 minutes walk from where our ferry left us to this place. This beautiful waterfall cascading into a splendiferously turquoise lake, water twinkling in sunshine and surrounded by dense woodlands and those amazing boardwalks which we took us round the river's path are indeed truly glorious. We are going to be posting, we have posted many videos individually from our Croatian trip, especially the Dubrovnik ones, and about the full trip from Scradden to the Krka National Park. So please go and watch it if you haven't already. We'll be posting more individual episodes. But look at this Krka National Park. When we went to the walking trail, it's about 1 to 2 kilometers, and we get to see this path of the river and the amazing travertine waterfalls, and because it's the calcium carbonate rocks, that looks really amazing, and it forms a lot of fissures because it can't hold water for more. But in the low-lying regions, the opposite happens, and it actually keeps changing its color based on the mineral content as well. And luckily we had a very torrential downpour a week before we landed in Croatia, and so this flowing river was full of water and full of life, and it was a refreshing feeling to keep watching this and walking in its path. There are good facilities in the national park. You get, as you walk around, get to have cafes. You have a souvenir shop which sells some pretty unique things, and you have a display of this art of around the Krka National Park. There's also a watermill which we will get to soon, and that's the souvenir shop. So this is a watermill. They used to have the grains in here and grind them using the power of the high water that's flowing, just like hydroelectricity. And there was also this fissure we spotted around there, and which had flowing water from one of those areas. And this location was not spotted until actually we went in, and it was amazing. Just my request for everybody who do visit Croatia, don't miss this heavenly place. So there are many waterfalls, lakes, but Krka is definitely a truly special one. Ferry to Scradden, and this is the Scradden Bridge, which is very popular. And from there we had some time because we had to rush, we had to get back at 3 o'clock, after which the ferries didn't operate late. So we had some time, and then we decided to travel to another popular little town called Šibenik. Šibenik is a very family-themed little town, and it's gorgeous, and it has history as rich as Dubrovnik, and it's nestled in a sea inlet between Zadar and Split, and was a maritime trading hub during Middle Ages. It was only about 25 minutes to 30 minutes from the Scradden village. As we didn't have much time to explore this little town in foot, we were looking around, and we had an amazing tourist guide with an auto rickshaw who offered us to take us around in his tuk-tuk for a price of 10 euro each. And this tour involved him showing popular cathedrals, the old town, forts, and beach with a panoramic view, with a few minute stops as for us to get down and take some pictures. So this is a view from the popular fort in Šibenik. And we ended our last trip in the tuk-tuk with a final visit to this beautiful beach. It's called the Banj Beach, and it's the cult beach of the Riviera of Šibenik. And this is the beach clubhouse called Petrus. It's very popular for nightlife, food and drinks, and I think in the summer it's probably filled with more people, but because we came here just before the day of Easter, it was fairly quiet. It's an open stadium from the fort where a number of events and concerts seem to take place. Now as you can see, there's a lot of crowd to get some blessings from this cathedral. And this is a very popular Croatian tradition. The families visit the cathedral just with carrying a basket filled with bread, ham and eggs, and they go to the church, get blessed, and then they actually have this bread for the whole family during the Easter as breakfast. So this is Easter is a very sacred time to commune with family over the traditional favorites. And this cathedral and fortress is called the St. Michael Fortress, the medieval fort situated on a steep hill above the old historic city. We are on the day 4 of our Croatia trip, and this is Plitvica Lakes, and look at that amazing view. And this view is greeted just as at the entrance. So Plitvica Lake is the most popular and famous destination in Croatia. It is around 295 square kilometers, making this the largest national park and forest reserve in Croatia. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and known for stunning terrace lakes and waterfalls, and 16 interconnecting lakes that vary in color from emerald green to turquoise to deep blue based on the mineral content and lighting conditions. This is truly a holiday paradise for tourists. As you can see the stunning views. So from Split, this place takes around 3 hours on road. But if you're coming from Zagreb, the capital city, you're probably slightly earlier. It's around 2 hours and 15 minutes. And the ticket per person, we were lucky at the time because we went in spring, so it was 10 euros. But I think if you travel during the summer, it might be twice as much or more. So there are many routes you can get to because it's such a huge national park. Based on the time you have, you can hike for at least up to 20 kilometers, and you can choose routes A, B, C, D, and F, I think, which you will know when you get to the entrance, and you can actually see where does this route take you, and also how many hours you have left. So we took about 2 hours hike, and which takes us from the lower lake to the upper lake, and then we have to use a ferry to get to the upper lake. And then on the way back, we had to get a shuttle bus to come to the same entrance. We reached Plitvica. The only thing I would say is for people who are traveling in summer, I think it's better to take some picnic with you or packed lunch, as it does get very busy and there's not many facilities for food. There's only one and it's overcrowded. That's the shuttle bus that we are taking from the upper lakes. Okay, so on the way back, we decided to stop at Zadar. So this was only like 30 minutes to and fro detour from going back to Split from Plitvica. So we wanted to get there because we couldn't resist listening to this amazing natural wonder, which is the Zadar sea organ. It's one of the reasons why this is more popular, and it's a unique thing which I don't think I've ever heard before, the sea organ. And there's so many different pipes constructed in the sea. So when every time the tides, the low tide and high tide come in, they hit the pipes under this location and create this amazing tune, and very unique tune at that people can listen into. Zadar is quite a big coastal city, and There's lots of families with young children and tourists who come here quite regularly. And it has some nice restaurants and amazing seafood, just like throughout the other Croatian popular cities and destinations. This is our day 4, almost done, and you are watching Croatia Trip summary for a 6-day trip from London to Croatia. I hope you're enjoying this. As you know, our channel is providing all these video logs as well as food, yummy food recipes and beauty tips. So please tune into us, please subscribe, share, and keep tuning into our channel, and we will get you more regular posts as often as we can. You are watching the Croatia trip from London to Croatia for 6 days, and we are on the final day, the 5th day, and we had traveled to a little hidden gem of a town called Trogir. So we stayed in a villa in Castella, which is about 25 minutes from this town. But we heard this is a very special place that had a fort, some cathedrals, and this cobblestone little pathways and many good restaurants. The Camalanga fort was closed because it was Easter. However, we decided to explore the city, which was fairly easy to do by foot. This tiny village, which you can explore entirely by foot, was packed with charm, scenic views, and a lot of great restaurants and yummy pastries, with Trogirski ravioli being a most amazing and a favorite one. So this town had a central square and a cathedral. So the central square had a number of shops which sold some unique things, souvenirs, ice creams and jewelry. Jewelry collection was quite unique and cool, and they sold corals, precious and semi-precious jewelry. In the central square was located the St. Lawrence Cathedral, which was open that day, so we decided to go into the cathedral, have a look around. And we were also allowed to climb up to go to the bell tower. Although the last upper deck was a bit risky to climb to the bell, so we had to use our own discretion. However, the point up to which we were allowed to climb, we were able to go and take some amazing pictures and look at the view of the Adriatic Sea, the whole town from an aerial view, which was really, really breathtaking. So this was the tower that we could climb up, but not up to the final point. And we came down and we did a bit of shopping, which is always nice, and decided to spend the last shred of money we had left on the final day. And we also very hungry, and how can we not have some food when we see so many amazing food and restaurants and pastry shops? So we went into one and had the most amazing orange juice I've ever had. It was so fresh and yummy, and we had actually 2 glasses of orange juice each, and that's Trogirski ravioli. It's a very, very unique dessert that is very popular in this region, and it's made of a really thin filling, thin pastry on the outside, which is crispy, and some grounded nuts, condiments and sugar on the inside. And it's very unique to this place because it's called Trogirski ravioli. And we were actually exploring the city in about 2 hours, so we had time, which we decided to go to Split, which was few minutes away from Trogir. And Split, as you know, is the second largest city after Zagreb in Croatia. And thanks to the former rulers, the Romans, the Austrians and the Yugoslavians, Split is a European city unlike any other. And you get one-of-a-kind mix of architecture and history on every cobblestone corner, and ancient ruins, open-air flea markets, and centuries-old cathedrals. It's seemingly frozen in time. And look at this amazing peacock on the streets that welcomed us with this beautiful dance. There are so many of them in the streets in Split, and it's such an amazing sight to watch. Although you wouldn't want to hear them speak, they do have this coarse voice which they like to probably use and show their authority. But we were very happy to see one peacock who was actually dancing. And we have going to this palace area and to the river, and we found the statue Gregory of Nin. This was a Croatian Catholic bishop who brought a lot of changes, and he's about 8.5 meters tall. Apparently, rubbing the statue's toe is said to bring good luck. The Diocletian Palace occupies and it's spread across this Split city, and it's an ancient palace built for the Roman Emperor Diocletian and forms half of the town. And the pathway within this Diocletian palace takes us to the river, which is like the Split's living room. But we are still in the Diocletian Palace, which, as you can see, is quite open, but they have preserved, in spite of this undergoing number of changes, when Yugoslavians captured this palace and there was a bombardment in the 90s. Just like that, this love heart locks that you usually find in Italy, you can also find in Croatia and many places. I think it's all around Europe really. And this is Riva, it's like the Split's living room. As I said, it's a city's seaside promenade and a popular place to have espresso, watch people, watch this amazing Adriatic view. And also people do come here to get to different islands on a ferry from this location. And obviously our popular one to have ice creams and juice and drinks. The city of Split can again be explored all by foot. There's not many vehicles on this town center. Yeah, this is a Game of Thrones museum where you can actually get some tickets to go in, explore, and actually solve some riddles and puzzles as well, and take pictures of one of the favorite characters. So that's we are end of our trip to Croatia, and this is the villa we stayed in Castella. As you can see, this was a really amazing, spacious one, and although it was on the expensive side, it was worth the money. There was a swimming pool, which unfortunately we couldn't use because it wasn't heated. And the time we went in early spring was a bit on the chilly side, so the water was cold. But hopefully, I think the owners did want to make this a heated swimming pool, so people who come after us could enjoy. And in the summer, you probably don't need one anyway because it's going to be nice and warm. And this villa can actually take 6 people to stay, not more than that, even though it's big. The owners do have some restrictions. And that's the end of our trip. And now we are in the Split Airport, which is the St. Jerome Airport, named after the patron saint of Split. And he's the patron saint of Split, Dalmatia country. So it was a really amazing airport, and I didn't expect this to be a huge one. It was even better than the Zagreb one, although Zagreb is the most busiest airport in Croatia. Whereas Split Airport handles 3.3 million passengers. It's a major destination for leisure flights during summer holiday season, and it's a seasonal base for Croatian Airlines. As usual, we decided to do some last-minute shopping to buy some sweets and gifts to friends and family, and packing a lot of all the wonderful times and memories made in these amazing countries that we can reflect on for a lifetime. And we are very, very glad to be sharing this all with you. So hopefully you liked our videos, you watched it, and we will make sure that we keep posting quality travel videos, yummy food recipes from India, and some beauty tips, and many more. So please like, share, and subscribe, and spread the message across. Thanks very much for watching. and we will be back with another good video and another trip very soon. Thanks everyone. Bye. Thank you.